This is Worldwide Flava Network. Coast to coast and worldwide.
The views, information, or opinions expressed on the broadcast of Worldwide Flava Network are solely those of the individuals involved and does not represent those of Worldwide Flava Network and Live365.com. Worldwide Flava Network is not responsible and does not verify for accuracy of the information contained on any live or recorded broadcast available for listening on the site.
Hey, you guys, this is Anika from Anika Tells All.
Tune in every Thursday from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Worldwide Flava Network. See you then.
Hi, this is Tony Reed, your fitness trainer, health coach, and life changer. Now here at the Worldwide Flava Network every Wednesday night from 7:30 to 8:30. Join us for a life-changing moment.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Shell, also known as Color Beauty. Join me on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. on WWFN Online Radio. When 2 minutes is not enough, we go into overtime. See you then.
This show is being sponsored by Worldwide Flava Network. If you are looking to have your own radio show, come and join us here on WWFN Online Radio. Contact us via our website, www.worldwideflavanetwork.com.
Tune in with Diva Talk, Real Talk with Diva May every Sunday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Worldwide Flava Network. Please share. See you next Sunday.
It's your girl, A. Michelle. Join us on Sundays from 10 until 12 noon for the Baltimore Flava Gospel Show on Worldwide Flava Network.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Wake me up this morning. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Help me start my day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. New heights I'm gaining. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Always make a way. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Praise about the greatest. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Calvary praise. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Each and every day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. It's time to wake up now. The sun's shining bright. The darkest times in my life, I can see the light. When I'm feeling weak, His strength makes me strong. Whatever makes me happy makes me feel complete. Feeling so much better. It's time to come together. When I hear the sound, first thing I do in the morning. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Wake me up this morning. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Help me start my day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. New heights I'm gaining. Thank you, Lord. Always make a way. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Praise God the greatest. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Calvary praise. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Each and every day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. It's your girl, Miss Lady. Every day I have to thank the Lord for everything that you've done for me. Made a way out of no way. That's how I know He's there for me. From sun up to sun down, I know He'll always be around. Watching over me, giving me a clear view so I can see. That is why I can say thank you, Lord, each and every day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Wake me up this morning. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Help me start my day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. New heights I'm gaining. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Always make a way. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Praise God the greatest. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Calvary praise. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Each and every day. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. No one can come in between this happiness I have. Through all the pain and sorrow, I still see tomorrow. If your heart is heavy, He'll give you strength to go on. is real. I thank God each and every day, and I would like to thank all of my family and friends for the love and support. Cheryl, this lady loves you guys.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl, A. Michelle, here on the Baltimore Flavor Gospel Show on the Worldwide Flavor Network. Oh, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I am just so grateful to be alive and to be here in the studios this morning. I am just so tired. That's all I can say, but it's a fun, good tired. That's all I can tell you guys. It has been a wonderful week. This week was Baltimore Fashion Week. Shout out to Sharon Nixon and her team and in the Umbrella Foundation. It was just simply awesome all week. I didn't get to everything, but I tried to get to as many activities as I could possibly get to. And all I can tell you guys, you better do it next year. If you are a makeup artist, a fashion designer, what else? Photographer, it's just so many things a part of this entertainment world that can benefit and really enjoy. The fashion was absolutely phenomenal last night. I cannot tell you how I was just in awe. I'm hoping and praying I'll get to go to New York Fashion Week as well. It was just at least for a couple days anyway, but it was just an awesome. When I say awesome time this week with them and hanging out with them and just learning different stuff. I mean, everybody who knows me, really knows me, knows that I'm big on fashion, big on entertainment, all that kind of stuff. And so it was just a wonderful week. Um, Tuesday, we hung out with Jenna Blucker from Elle Magazine. I mean, she was just sweet and just fun. It was just absolutely phenomenal. And then we had a break on Wednesday, and then they did something Monday, but Monday I couldn't make it. They went to the movies and all that kind of stuff. And then Tuesday we had the lunch at the Foco du Child and all that kind of stuff, and just hung out and had a really good time. And then on Thursday we had another event down at the Springfield Hotel, and then Friday we had another event at the on the Broadway Mexican restaurant. We had another event there, and then yesterday, and then today they're gonna, final debut of all the different fashions and everything. But it was just phenomenal last night. The fashions were just amazing. And so I would encourage any fashion designer, makeup artist, photographer, hairstylist, all of them, reach out to the Umbrella Foundation. Sharon Nixon, reach out to them. I can assure you, it's like, that hard mother, but she makes you good. That's basically what it is. She may be that hard mother, but she's gonna make sure your stuff is tight. Hat designers, oh my gosh, we had a hat designer that was there last night, and she was just like, Sharon debuted one of her fashions, and some of these same people who was here in Baltimore Fashion Week will be in New York Fashion Week. So I'm just excited for so many people. I don't even want to begin to name the designers from last night, but I did take pictures with them. So go on Facebook. They were just some great folk. That's all I can tell you. Just great, humble, fun, just good to be around. And the whole Umbrella Foundation has just been great. I have enjoyed my time being a part of them. I am a member of the organization, and I would encourage those who are in our field, the entertainment field, even media, all of that, fashion, everything. It would just be to your best interest just to have opportunity for you and your business. So I would encourage you to look into it. It was just a great weekend. Today is Salute Culture Day. Those of you who know, Salute Culture is having their a new debut down at the pop-up shop fashion show down at the RL Hotel. I am the yours truly and honored and humbly blessed with the opportunity to be a part of this event and hosting this event. So I am just so elated for my brothers Blue and Bernard and all those who work with them, and we all work together. I am truly honored to have this opportunity to be a part of this. And so I hope and pray if you get a chance, cruise through for a few minutes events. We definitely will be doing the fashion show from, I believe it's from 7 until 8, the fashion show portion. But we will be doing some other stuff going on, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We just going to have some fun with it and enjoy the day. So just come and hang out with us here on Worldwide Flavor Network. And then later on this evening, we'll be at the RL Hotel at 6 o'clock. So those of you who want to come down, come and hang out with us and come in and learn, enjoy, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm as excited about this weekend and today and all the good things that's going on here in Baltimore, because in spite of what you may hear, Baltimore is a good place to be. And we are known for the music and the fashion stuff. So anybody tell you anything different, I'm just saying, this is how we roll. And so again, shout out to my brothers Blue and Bernard for Salute Culture Samaj Line. I'm just so proud of them. I'm just so proud of them and the things that they're doing. And so I'm looking forward to this afternoon, and I hope to see your face in a place if you are able to come. Please follow us. We are now on so many platforms, and we just want you to be a part of us at all times. Our station, a lot of people think that the shows only run during the times that you see us, but we run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We run music. Only time that there's not really any music running is when we have a show going on, and then some of the shows do a music break. So feel free to share with everybody and tune into us during the day. We do midday mixes. So if you know any DJs, they can send me some clean music in the MP3 format. We do midday mixes every now and then, at least twice a month. We choose different days and we do 1 o'clock mixes. And on Saturdays, we do 2 o'clock mixes. But Monday through Friday, we normally do them at 1 o'clock, just to have something for people to jam to while they sitting at work. Because that's what I do. I have my earbuds on and I'm listening to Worldwide Flavor Network. When I'm riding in my car, I'm listening to Worldwide Flavor Network. So if you hear music in my car, that's what I'm listening to. I'm still a big fan of 88.9 and some of the other states, 93.6, and some of those other stations. But because we have our own station and we have good music on there, we, tune into our own station, and we would like for you to tune in. So feel free to download the app on the Live 365 from your Google Play stores and your iTunes stores, and search for WWFN Online Radio. You can listen to music and listen to our shows whenever you need to. And guess what? You don't have to be in a certain range unless your phone is acting up or your internet is acting up. You can listen to us anywhere around the world. So you never get a chance to miss us. So that's what we are so happy about, being online. You can catch us anywhere. We are on all social media platforms as of right now. The ones that we're currently on, you can definitely reach us on our website. So from our website, you can connect to any of these social media platforms: Facebook, Worldwide Flavor Network, in YouTube, Worldwide Flavor Network, Instagram, WWFN Online Radio, Periscope for WWFN, and on Mixcloud for WWFN. For those of you who are not sure what Mixcloud really is, because a lot of people are like, what is Mixcloud? Mixcloud is for those individuals and your family and your friends who are not on social media. They can go in and just listen. They wouldn't be able to see anything, but they will listen to what we have recorded and put on our platform. So please feel free to join us whenever you have time to listen. You can go back and listen to a show. If you missed it, you can go back and listen. So we thank you so very much. We wanted to get all that good stuff out the way because we got some good news to tell y'all. We got some debut stuff going on up in here that, I found out myself it was a debut today, and I am just so elated. First, I want to thank my little brother, my little heart, my little baby. I just want to thank Taylor Rowe, who, he knows that's my heart. I try to get all the business I can to him as much as I possibly can, but Taylor Rowe referred this gentleman, Brandon Fields, to me. I am so grateful to meet him. He's just been a blessing, just from inboxing, just talking and communicating, because communication is everything. And we hadn't been able to actually physically talk on the phone or anything, but just through the emails, you could feel the spirit was just right. And I just want to say good morning, welcome to the Worldwide Flavor Network. Thank you so much for joining us. Say good morning to our people this morning.
Absolutely. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. I am just so honored that you were able to, put it in your schedule. I'm honored that he even contacted me to put you on the schedule. And when I started reading through and going through all the information, I was like, well, wow, I ain't never heard this gentleman. Like, where he been? I'm like, wow. I mean, it's been truly a blessing to review your information and trying to learn who you are as a writer, as a author, and a screenplay writer. They tend to sometimes align, but sometimes they really don't always. And so, just reading through your information has been inspiring as well. And so, let's first find out who, because this is breaking news, you guys. Y'all don't know. He has not talked to anybody about his book, about his play, all these good things. So we about to break open some stuff, and we're gonna get y'all to knowing who he is, so y'all can have the play come to your city or to your church, or however we gonna get this all connected together. We want to make this all happen. I want you guys to learn who he is first, because then that gives us the story and the backdrop of how we move forward into how the book and the play all comes together. So who is Brandon? Who is Brandon Fields? Who is
a
he?
good question.
Okay.
Good question. Actually happy to answer that, having really come to grips and understanding with who Brandon is in these past few years or so.
Okay.
Growing up in church, you really kind of fall into identity crisis by what you're told, by what you see, by what you think you understand. And as you grow, you really start to process information differently, because you got to understand and have a relationship with Christ for yourself. So I've always done what I am doing now. I just did not do it at the level that God desired for me to do it.
Okay.
So I've always written, I've always, funny enough, sung. I was in fashion shows as a kid. So everything you just said, I'm kind of like, good Lord, this has been my life story. But literally born and raised in Baltimore, grew up in Perkins Square Baptist Church right on Emerson and
Oh my
Williams
gosh,
Avenue.
Perkins
Yep.
Square. Oh my gosh,
Literally
yes.
born and
Wow.
reared in that church.
Wow.
And fostered a lot of my gifts there. When I went to private school all my life, actually private Christian school from 1st to 12th grade. So I've always walked a certain way, and really got to a place in my adult life where I wanted to start really exploring my gifts. So when I stepped outside of Perkins Square for the first time, I, became a choir director. I had my own music groups in Baltimore. We did a lot of great things. And in those journeys, I kind of found myself to the place where I am now with the book and the show. I learned a lot being in different churches, being in my own church, being in churches I was a member of. You watch so many things happen. And I really was able to mold Brandon together the way that God wanted him to be by experiencing so many things. I sung professionally for 10 years.
Okay.
Whether it was by myself or in R&B groups, went as far as auditioning for Bad Boy at one time. So, I mean, we have walked the scope.
What are some R&B groups that you did play a part in?
So we were all small, but
Okay.
I was in a group called Diverse at one time.
Okay.
I actually was in a group called Fire that matured into a group named Access. So I've done a lot of things. If there was a small regional choir in Baltimore, I probably sung on it. I was a part of Active Gospel Chorale at one time with part of Sheldon Baylor and Friends. Just have done a lot of work. My own groups were in his likeness and a different level. We both did different things in Baltimore as well. So it's been a journey through music for most of my life. I started singing, literally singing at the age of 14, and felt like back then, this is what I want to do. I want to perform. I want to entertain. I want to do this. And spent many nights crying and saying, God, listen, I need you to open the door. I need you to make a way. And while he never took the gift from me, he showed me there are different ways for you to do this than what you're thinking.
Right. So did you have that thing of called fear in you? Like for me, there were some things I wanted to do. But I grew up in an era of you listen to everything your parents say.
Absolutely.
So, your parent put all this fear in you. So you find yourself not, because I had this go-getter spirit. And I didn't know that's what it was called, but that's what I had. And I really wanted to do those things. I wanted to, this is what I've always wanted to do. Radio, TV, act, all these things is what, but because of my mom, You know, it was like, you gonna find yourself, you don't want to get caught up. And then you watching the celebrities and you're watching the things that's happening to them. And so it was like, that was the thing. You can't do secular and you can't do gospel, and I was like, but then as you say, as you grow and you learn, it was like, okay, but the same God that gave that secular person a voice is the same God. Cause I was just there, but it took me time. And it took time to break away from that.
Yeah. So I was raised by my grandmother. So
Okay.
I mean, I got the old school.
Oh, so you got it real old
Absolutely.
school.
Like, she's no joke. She doesn't play any games. It was almost kind of like not forced at all. That's not the word I want to use, but it was absolutely branded on me from the very beginning. You're going to be a preacher at one point. You're going to walk in this calling, and I would never deny it. But I ain't going to tell you that I ran towards it either. I absolutely knew.
What?
14,
Say that again.
14 years old, I will never forget. I sang my very first lead at church, High in All the Earth. Will never forget that for whatever reason. And from that moment, I knew I want to do this for a living. And went through the same things. It was literally, where you can't serve two masters. You can't be over here doing this. You can't be over here doing that. Knowing how bad my heart was beating to
do other things. Yeah, because you had your Aretha Franklin. She was singing gospel in church, but then she was doing R&B too. You had Patti LaBelle, and these were the women that I grew up with and loved. So it was like, they can do it, why can't I? But it was just so, because coming from the preachers and the this and that, and it was like, my mother wasn't a preacher, but my grandfather and my great grandfather and all them were preachers, and all, and they was holiness.
Right.
So that was just like total. My mother and them was Baptist, so that's kind of like where I lean towards. I love the Church of God in Christ, the apostolic sound. I like the whole, but I had to lean to the Baptist side because the girl still wanted to wear heels, and the girl wanted to wear heels, and she wanted to wear the lipstick, and and they weren't having none of that when we were growing up. So it was just like, wow.
Yeah, it is a experience to grow up understanding what you're supposed to do while still knowing what you want to do.
Right.
And that was where I had to make the two paths meet. When I first started singing, I was all the way 150% R&B. That was it for me. That's all I wrote. That's all I sung. That's all I wanted. That was all I wanted, was to be an R&B.
Wow.
I looked up to the Ushers and the Sam Cooks. I wanted to literally go that route, and that was it for me. It took me growing and maturing and understanding that there is a way to bridge the gap.
So who got you into the Sam Cooke era? Because you don't seem like you would be that old to be.
Told you, my grandmother.
Okay.
So anything Motown, anything, Sam Cooke, anything of that era, those Saturday mornings when you cleaning the house and getting things together. That's the kind of stuff.
So like for me with the Mahalia Jackson, like how you listen to that? Because that was the era. Yeah. My grandmother on that side, you in her house, that's what you heard.
Yeah.
The Clark sisters, the Mahalia Jacksons, and her Clark sisters were her friends, so she really played them all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow.
600 house. So I understand. It took 13 years? I was 13 years old when I figured out there was secular radio. So yeah, wow. It was no joke.
Wow.
No joke.
Wow.
No joke.
Wow. Awesome. So Brandon, and as you have been experiencing all of these things, how did you finally decide, hey, this is the route that I want to go and I want to do, or you really structured things the way that you wanted to structure it? How did you get to that place?
This journey has been one that I literally one day have to write a book about itself, because it would take forever to explain. Because when I say I'm literally on the cusp of fully understanding that right now while I'm talking to you, it's really not a joke. Even when it comes to the book and the show, the timeline is insane. This was something that started in me in 2012.
Okay.
And it took until now to, get there. So putting the pieces together was literally like making a puzzle happen.
Okay.
And sometimes I just didn't know if I had the right pieces.
Right.
I work professionally as a senior level special assistant in higher academia.
Okay.
Actually just relocated to Fairfax, Virginia, working at George Mason University.
Wow.
So I've been in special or high level administration since I was 18 years old. And I can do it with my eyes closed. It is the most natural thing in the world to me. However, it's not the most fulfilling. I love what I do for a living, but I know that my heart beats for what I want to do.
Okay.
So I have finally gotten to a place where I understand that Getting a job is something I can do. Establishing a career is something I've absolutely done. My boss and I now have an amazing relationship, and she knows what I do at work and what I'm not at work. I've finally gotten to the place where I understand that God has allowed me to secure income and be established working during the day. But he is bringing me to a season where this thing that I want to do is about to come to fruition, because I finally said, okay, God, I want to do what's going to best benefit you and for you to get the glory out of my life. It is amazing to sit at a desk, amazing to get a check, but at some point in life, we've got to come to the place where we desire to fully live in our purpose and in our passion. And if we don't, we're never going to be fully fulfilled. So now at 33, finally, I think the light bulb went off, and it's like, okay, if you actually push for this, if you put your passion behind it and you use your purpose towards it, you can make this happen.
Absolutely.
And that's why things are rolling the way they are. I had to, it's like going back to your original question, that fear thing held me back from a lot of stuff.
Oh, don't even talk about it.
I mean, there were times when I knew I was qualified, or I knew I was capable. I knew I was talented enough. I knew I was good enough. I just wouldn't show up because I didn't want to get my feelings hurt. I didn't want to be in a position of feeling like I climbed to the top of the mountain to just be knocked back down. So I finally gotten to the place where it's like, you know what? Even if I don't make it to the very peak of the mountain, the experience that I'm getting walking up is going to show me how to climb again. And now I'll be able to climb again and not have that same fear.
Awesome. Oh my God. Yes. That fear thing. And it's I can't even tell you that it was ever in me naturally. Like, it was something that was pushed in me because of the fear of others in my family. Because, like, for me, once God really broke that spirit off of me, I've never stopped. Like, I've always been a go-getter, always been a pusher, always doing. But it took God to really break that off of me.
Yeah, it's necessary.
Because it was because I came from a big, but the knit of the family, they kept everything like, you don't go away to college, you don't do this, And when my aunt went away, she just packed up and moved to California and went to college. It was like the bell went off, but then again, I still was stuck in it. I was still stuck in it. And then when I finally graduated from high school, because I wanted to go to the military, my mother was like, no, I'm not signing, because I was her only child, so I couldn't go.
She wasn't having that.
So she wasn't having that. So then when I finally came out of high school, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. Life is going good. I had this opportunity to work for the hair company. And that's when God began to break that in me. So that fear thing, it stayed a long time.
Yeah, it does.
But it wasn't until I had that opportunity to go to the class at the black hair company. And then the classes I was taking, the trainings I was taking, took me to a whole nother level. And that I came back to Baltimore, and God was just breaking all of those fears in me that had been built up. Because, like I said, I was always the mind of going and getting and going and wanting to move away and wanting this, that, and I didn't want to go to college, though. That was never my desire. Only because I went to this conference as a kid, and we stayed at a college campus. And so the thought of sharing bathrooms was like, because you think every college is like that. And I had been going to this college since I was like, 5 or 6 years old. So I grew up on the Shaw University campus. Okay. I grew up on a campus that had no air conditioning, you had to share showers and all that stuff. And so going away to college, my mind was all colleges are like that. So not that you ever had a single room or anything like that. And when you were an only child, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I had no desire to go away to college at that point. So that was the only thing I didn't desire. But I did have the desire to go in the military. My mother said no. So I had to make it work.
Right.
And so, God just, began to break those fears. And I'm glad to hear that you did break those fears, because as I had to tell a young lady just last night, Brandon, she's an engineer, doctorate degree, all this carrying on stuff. And she really wants to do fashion.
Wow.
Even her husband is backing her. And that's like, what?
Yeah.
He was even
Yeah.
like, he's the one who pushed for her to come to the event last night.
Mhm.
And I can truly say, she was like, I'm so glad I came and I met you. And I'm like, God ain't never tell us we had to have one career.
Nope.
I said, girl, do you want to hear the story behind all of my careers? Do you know? I said, everybody want to sit back and say, girl, you know so much. You do so much. I said, because I use everything God has blessed me with.
As we should. As we should.
And I'm telling you, she was so happy when she finished the show last night. She was like, I'm just so glad I met you.
Mhm.
And I said, don't give up. I said, start thinking what you want to do, how you want to do it, and keep moving forward. I said, oh, did I tell you I have a full-time job? See, I told her all the other stuff I did. I said, oh, by daytime, I'm a financial analyst.
Mhm.
She was like, I said, yes.
That's usually what shocks people is that for 8
I
hours.
said,
you
I
work out
work
something else.
for a university. I'm a financial analyst. And I said, and then I do all of the other stuff that I do.
Yep.
Radio, entertainment management, all of that,
Mhm.
artist management, everything else.
It's necessary, not only for the sense of we live in a world now where if you don't have multiple streams of income, I don't know how you survive.
Right.
Number one.
Say it again
But
if you don't know.
beyond- yeah, I mean, and that's literally the reality we live in. I tell people now all the time, if you work one job and survive, then you're not living. You're existing because you're literally going to work, you're paying your bills and repeating the cycle. That's all you have time for. But if you're not literally living in your passion, living in your purpose, you'll hear that so many times over the next couple. I am so committed to that now because
Yes.
I think we get caught up in that trap of believing again what we're told, what we see, what we believe we're supposed to do versus really understanding and seeking God for what it is we're supposed to be doing. And tying that into what we do. I mean, I just started
Absolutely.
this job in Fairfax and I talk every day about what I do when I'm not at work. Because at the end of the day, that's what God has for me to do. He's opened that door for me outside of Baltimore to be able to expand the network, to be able to touch and get to people that I would not have been able to before. And it was, again, that was a fear of mine. I'll tell people in a heartbeat. Anybody that's watching that knows me will tell you, I'm a straight up grandma's boy. It is what it is. When I got this job, the first thing I said was, oh, that's cute. I'm not going. Because I didn't have a mentality to want to live in Fairfax while my grandmother's living in Owens Mills. Absolutely not. God said, I need you to do this.
He got to make moves. He has to do some unconventional things.
Yep. Because
that's how this all came about. Unconventional.
That he does that we recognize, we brush it off.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that I've seen in the city I'm used to, or if it's something that I've already done, I'm not gonna pay it no mind. He said, nope, let me show you that there's something else. Let me show you that there's somewhere else. Let me show you that the same way I am God for any and everybody, I need you to be able to expand your gift to the same level. And I literally looked at this guy.
Wow, you better teach.
You want me to do what? Like I'm comfortable in my bubble, but I really wasn't. I had gotten convinced in my own mind that my spirit was okay with my mental status saying that I was fine. That is the trap we fall into. Our spirits are wanting to break free, but our minds
blocks us. Nope, no, we can't do that. Right.
Not we don't want to. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it tells us.
Boy, you sure you ain't been in my mind? Oh Jesus, he been in my house, Lord, because he ain't never been there. How he been in my house? But that's how God will connect the spirits and knowing. Absolutely. That's just how he would do. Wow, that is powerful. That is so. I mean, when he take us out the comfort zone, the comfort box, and that's what I had to tell the young lady last night. I said, you in this box right here. Mm-hmm. I said, step out that box and watch how God will expand and do and make things happen.
Absolutely.
Every time I think about it, I'm just so grateful. I thank God every time I walk in this place because in 2.5 weeks, he did this. Did this. When I say did this, the move, the transition, the change, 2.5 weeks. That's not just doing it in a sense of, I literally had to find a place, all these things. He did all that in 2.5 weeks. That's when because I said, Lord, if you want this to happen,
that's how he'll do it.
If you want this to happen, you will make it happen.
Mm-hmm. But we get scared to even ask him to do that.
Sometimes we do, and sometimes you get bold enough, but then you like, okay, I need you to hurry up. Right. Then you want to rush him, and I'll be like, oh Lord, I'm sorry, I don't want to rush you.
He's like, oh, you want me to move fast?
Right? Okay. But he didn't. He did it so graciously, so timely, and I'm just so humbly grateful
because, like I said, I just knew, you know how you just know things are gonna something you looking for something to happen,
Absolutely.
and he
Wait
didn't
for the
let
other shoe to
he
drop.
right. You were like, okay, and he just did it, and when he did it, he didn't stop.
Mhm.
He just kept moving, and he's been still blessing and keep moving and making more opportunities and blessing with me with different, more and different guests,
Mhm.
and guests that are a blessing, meaning a blessing to the whole network and what they're doing and how they're doing it and sharing. And so it was just, it's just been amazing. And to hear your story, it's like, you would think that we already knew each other, because it's just like some of the things I'm listening to, they kind of align, with that whole piece of how, we grew up, even though there's a big difference in age and air, but it's, you came from an old school. So therefore that would help me see things in the light that you see it,
Right. Right.
because of the type of background that you came from. So as you have now, okay, so you work down at the university, and you're making your moves down in that area. You're now, in on this track of getting your book and your production company and all of that. Then did the production company come before the book and all of that came, or did that come during this process?
So let me walk you through the journey. So 2012, I sat down in about 8 hours at my current job then and wrote 9 short stories. Um, Literally within about 8 hours. And I have a friend who will absolutely always confirm that
Get
because
to the mic just a little bit more for me.
I have a
Mhm.
friend who will always confirm that because she literally was reading them as I was typing them. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
typing, I'm like, read this. Okay, now read this. Okay, now read this. And she's like, wait, first of all, are you writing these as you're sending them? Because they're coming like back to them. I'm like, yeah, it's just kind of coming out. So that was 2012. By 2014, I finally got the boldness to say to somebody, hey, so I wrote this thing and I think it might be something. So would you mind kind of just taking a look? And a couple of my friends were like, what in the world have you done? Like, this is something serious. You need to make this happen. So they were then monologues. And as I sat down and said, okay, maybe I want to really put something together. Maybe I'll do a one night only show of just the monologues and have, young people come together and read these things. And something said, nah, you let's go back to the foundation. I was 6, 7 years old writing my own stories and books and writing
Really?
plays and writing
Okay.
all that kind of. I was a very, very creative, but child who lived in solitude. I was raised as an only child, even though I have siblings. So I always was to myself. My grandmother didn't have to yell and scream at me. I had a notebook wherever we went, and I just sat there and wrote. I kept myself occupied. So 2014, I finally mustered up the strength, and I said, okay, let me build a script around these monologues and see if it makes sense. 2015, Starstruck Productions actually started. And we put this show on 5 times in the city of Baltimore. Never in my life have I ever seen young people be touched so much. And then right after that, we literally crumbled at the seams. Everybody had different agendas, different things were happening, had to let, at least one actor go. Like it just was so much happening. And
So wait a minute, let's go back to that, because if that play was a play
Mhm.
that was making a difference in young people's lives, what tore the team apart? Because if that's something that was making a difference, why can't we find a way to bring that back to make some more differences? Because right now we're in a place that we got to reach our young people some
Absolutely.
kind of way. And if that was reaching young people then, I can assure you it would reach them today.
Absolutely. It was God's timing.
Okay.
It was God's timing. The foundation of the original production company was entertainment. As much as I wanted to make it about ministry, if I'm being 100% honest and transparent, we weren't focused on legitimately touching as many as we could as a whole. There were people who were in it to win it for Christ, and then we didn't have absolute commitment from everybody else.
Okay.
So I had to go back to the drawing board, and when we took that break, was when God really sat me down and said, okay, so I need you to understand who I am. I need you to understand what I've given you, and I need you to actually take it a whole lot more serious than you are. Because I did what I've almost always done with my gifts is I acknowledged God for giving them to me. But then as soon as things started happening, I ran and didn't thank him. I ran and didn't give the glory back to him. I ran and did everything opposite of what I knew I was supposed to be doing.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So now,
Wow.
5 years later, year of grace, mind you, God allows me to not only release the book, but allows me to put the stage play on stage back again. And I am to a place now where humility may not even sum up how grateful I am. for the opportunity to do this again. When we stopped in 2015, after planning, I mean, we sat down and had a planning meeting with the whole team to set up the next year, and it all fell apart. After the show fell apart, I fell apart. I literally crawled up in a corner and just said, okay, I wanted to sing Lord and we didn't make that happen. I wanted to be in groups and we didn't make that happen. Now I had this whole stage production company that I've poured my life into, and that just fell apart. Why am I here? What's the purpose behind me still being here if everything that I touch falls apart? He had to show me, you're rushing because you want something that you're not ready for me to give you.
Wow,
And
drop the mic on that.
Swallowing that pill took me almost 2 years because, again, my spirit was pushing against my mental status that was not ready to accept. My spirit said, we have it. We can do this. We know how to do this. He's given us the ability to do this. And my mind said, why? We fail every time. Why? Nobody wants to work with us. Why? Nobody wants to be a part of anything you're doing. It had gotten that bad. And God literally had to say, okay, so spirit, I need you to come up because this mental status is about to take one of the best and the strongest out. And I'm not saying that on a cocky level at all. I'm saying that because I know what I've endured and I know what God has allowed me to overcome. And I know that only strength can be built in that kind of weakness.
So at this point, you are mentally breaking down.
I was losing my mind. I would say if anybody that knew me back
Were you
during that time,
functionable? Were you
Yep.
one of them ones that
I
was
was-
going to work every
Yep,
day,
autopilot.
living life?
Autopilot.
Doing
Straight up
wow.
autopilot. There was nothing
Wow.
behind my eyes. My skin color changed, but I was functioning. I was still making sure I had a check, making sure my bills were paid, making sure I still smiled at customers when I saw them, making sure students would take care. I did everything I was supposed to do, but when I went home, I literally laid there and did not know what was going to happen. There were nights I share this story openly now because this is the reason God gave me the platform to be able to do this again. I never considered suicide.
That's a blessing. That's a
I
blessing.
wanted
To just
to
die.
not wake up.
Right. You just
I
wanted to die.
wanted God to say, okay, I will stop your heart from beating because all it's doing right now is breaking. That's what I wanted. I never wanted to take, I never felt like I was worthy of even taking my life.
Mhm.
But I felt like, well, Lord, if you decide just to let this go,
Let me go.
I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
That's where I was.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's where I
Lord
was.
Jesus. I'm listening to you and it's like, okay, he's almost speaking some of my life when it comes to, those type of thoughts, because it was like, I never ever desired, never ever contemplated. It's never been, and maybe because of how I was raised and taught of what the word says about suicide and things of that nature. So that was never a thought. But yes, it was like, things were so bad at different points in my life. I was like, okay, Lord, but I'm trying to make a difference. I'm doing these things. Okay, then just like, okay, my salon was very successful. This was this, and now I'm going through this period of nothing. Like, come on. And it was like, I was not one of the ones who did not. I gave him the glory. I gave him the praise. No matter what, it was every chance I could, even in my mess, I still would thank him for those things. But it was like, okay. Like you said.
I mean, coming out of high school, I graduated second in my class.
Wow.
I had my pick of colleges to go to. I signed my first record deal at 19.
Wow.
I was touring, opening. I've done everything. And then literally, when Starstruck broke down, there was a literal period of what I felt like was complete silence. And I did not know how to react.
But that was his way. And I can say that now because it happened for me. It was his way of restructuring you.
It was a way of getting my attention
Mhm.
because I was far-fetched in the way of paying enough attention
Mhm.
to understand that you're missing it. You're missing it. I have the opportunity for you, Brandon, but you're looking for something else, and I got something better for you. I tell this story all the time.
When we get on his track, we so much better
Oh
off.
my gosh, it makes so much more sense.
Oh my
Things
God, people
move
don't realize-
sensibly.
People don't even realize. They sometimes sit back and they be like wondering like, why this ain't working out. And I'm like, when you get on God's plan,
It makes a big difference.
It makes all the difference.
It makes a big
I try
difference.
to tell people when you get on his plan, eventually, because we always want, and because I'm gonna tell you, I don't have no shame in it. I say it all the time. I remind people sometimes I was a negotiator. I tried to be. Let me say that. I ain't gonna say I was because it ain't never worked out because it always went in his favor.
Absolutely.
But I was one of them ones who wanted to negotiate with God. Like, but God, if we do it this way,
Mhm. Why can't we try it this
can
way,
we
Lord?
try it this
Yep.
way?
Then there.
Because I knew I knew what, but he wanted us to do different.
Yep. I had heard the words of Jeremiah 29:11 so
Mm.
many times.
Oh my, the
plans
plans I had for you,
but I could not get past my own plans.
not to harm you,
Yeah. But
but to prosper you. And when you read that, because you reading that in your worst times.
Mhm.
Oh my
And yet,
God.
I'm still in my mind saying, but my plan's better. Lord, look at it. I wrote it down. I'm a business plan person. So I'm like, Lord, it's right here.
Brandon, I know. I know you ain't saying nothing. I don't know.
I'm
Like we saying the same thing. Like
Mhm.
you gotta.
Yep.
But when it really came down to it, his plan was so much better. Though the process, that's the part that I think is more so
Absolutely.
that gets us. It's not so much that we think his plan is not good.
Mhm.
It's that
It's the
process.
process. We don't want to endure that.
We don't want to endure that process. We don't want to endure whatever his process was, because we knew the process that we already had in our mind was going to get us there. But his process, it may be hard, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's the Legos of the whole program.
Absolutely.
Like, it builds us.
Absolutely.
I would not, had God opened the doors that I believe he's about to open now back in
Mhm.
2014, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I mentally would not have been able to handle it, especially because at the end of the day, this piece of work in particular, I'm so amazed by God that this is the first piece I'm working on, because it is an amazingly emotional and gripping tale. And when I say tale, I mean in the sense of creative nonfiction. This is nobody's biography, but it is absolutely something for everybody to identify with in this book.
Wow. So none of this is connected to anything, any personal.
Nope. As much as people would probably try to make it seem like it is. No.
Wow.
I did not write this book to expose. I did not write this book to put people out there. I did not write this book to make people feel like I've been watching them. I wrote this book because I'm a very quiet person naturally. I observe everything. And watching people that I love, that I cared for, that I praised with, that I sung with, that I taught Bible studies with, watching them suffer because at the end of the day, they felt unheard and unseen and unloved. It made me process that, okay, I'm not going to quote unquote call the church out, but I want the church to realize what they're missing. That's why the book came to the name of The Cries from the Choir Loft.
Wow.
I literally have watched young people lose their minds, but they still getting up every Sunday and singing. I've known the stories of what they're enduring when the doors are closed at home, but they're still coming to church and serving. And when they shout and when they go off and when they literally give God praise out of a place of pain, nobody's paying attention enough to notice that's not normal. That's not what we taught them. That's not what we should be looking for. That's something that requires attention. That's something that needs to be called to the carpet. That's something we need to be looking at, because if we don't, we're going to lose them one way or other. They're either going to walk out that church or they're not. If you get my drift. So I put these stories on paper. I built the script around it. And watching people come after those 5 shows we did and literally say, wow, you just put me on stage. And these are people I don't know. These are people I do not know.
Wow. So these are individuals who've already read the book that came back and spoke
back
to them.
then, these were people that saw the original play.
Okay.
The book just actually was released this past April.
Wow. So you wrote the play first,
the play was
and
first.
then the book.
The play was first.
Wow.
So coming out of my period of silence, I could not let it go. I said, because again, this was supposed to be the inception of something amazing. God, you gave me this amazing play. I'm about to do plays back and forth. Everybody will tell you my mission in life. Yeah, next Tyler Perry. It is what it is. That's where I'm trying to get. And this was supposed to be the beginning. So when this broke apart, it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? That 2 years of silence goes by. I come back out, and the first thing I'm looking at is this again. Looking at the script, and I'm like, well, I'm not touching that again. I'm terrified. I don't want to go through. anybody that's gone through something that hurts,
You don't want to
experience
relive it
that.
again.
No, not at all.
Jesus,
Not at all.
Jesus, let me tell you.
Not at all.
And when he make you relive something,
And
and I'm like, Lord, first of all, I thought I learned something. I know I learned some things. Not I thought, I know I learned some things from that first time.
Yep.
You sent me through what you sent me
that
through.
whooping was enough. I didn't
want to relive it again. And what did he do, Brandon?
He started.
He
subtly.
made me relive
Absolutely.
it again. And I'm sitting up here like, really, Lord? The first time I thought it was more devastating because I had to live it through what I lived through. It was dealing with in my marriage and stuff. And to then relive it again with some friends.
Yeah.
Who you thought were friends?
Yep.
Who you thought were friends?
Absolutely.
You never ever freaking imagined it. And so like listening to you, it's like, okay, I know, it took me time, but it was like, okay, Lord. And so I'm listening to you and it's like, okay, as God always keeps reminding me, everybody can't be on that journey.
Very true.
So when you said that fell apart, I knew at that point, the people that was on that journey was not supposed to be on this journey where he's taking you.
And they're not. And they are not. God refocused,
I'm about to say
and
that's what he
rebuilt
will
this
do.
thing.
And that's what he will do.
But he just subtly kept nudging, like, do it again. And I'm like, no. Literally, I was so bold about it, it wasn't even fun. So I'm not doing that. There's no way I am doing that again. I started giving him every excuse in the book. I started rationalizing, negotiating. I'm like, nah, I'm not getting ready to do that again. And
get that negotiating spirit up.
Listen, I did.
I had to get that thing up years ago.
Oh, I learned that thing because then that started causing a whole nother type of pain.
Absolutely.
A
And that's
whole
what it
another
was.
type of-
And that was on a pain that didn't have nothing to do with that other pain.
Absolutely.
Like there was a whole nother level of pain.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Wow,
So
Brandon.
his-
wow.
His subtle nudges turned into pushes. And I finally got to a point once the book was released where I said, okay, this is something I did not think I would live to see. And if he gave me grace to see this come to fruition, mind you, I said 2012 was when I started writing all of this. 2019, we're coming to fruition and the number of completion.
Okay, so Brandon, did you ever see yourself putting that in the book? Because I'm thinking the book came first and then the play came, but you're saying the play came first and now the book. So you never had any intentions of ever making this a book.
As much as I love writing it, like I never considered being an author, period. I'm dead serious. I did not conceptualize a book with my name on it. Scripts, yes. Screenplays, yes. Songs, absolutely. Never thought in a million years I would write a book. Although I was always told, you're gonna write a book one day, or you should write a book. That was never my concept.
I keep trying to tell people. I got people telling me all the time, "Girl, you need to write a book." And I'm sitting up here like, y'all just don't know. I don't know how to write. I'm not a writer. I math all day. I can put stuff together. I can make things look good. But
that just means you sit with somebody that does though.
And I was like, I ain't no writer. I'm like, I'm not no writer. I make things happen, and I can review good. I can edit. That's the sad part about it, though, Brandon. I can edit. Well, fine. I can't write a darn thing, but I can edit. Be like, why you find all these mistakes? And I'll be like, you asked me to look over it. Well, you said you.
But
wow,
I couldn't let it go. So
okay, that's amazing.
But I won't say was afraid. I was just extremely cautious about, okay, well, I don't want to put my trust in anybody else. I don't want to put this piece of work in anybody else's hands to have them drop it on me again. Mm-hmm. So I said, okay, Lord, so if I don't do the play, what am I supposed to do with it? I said, oh, well, yeah, if I write a book, that's all me. Mm-hmm. I don't have to depend on people showing up for rehearsals. I don't have to depend on people learning a lot. I can just do this. And then this piece of work that I feel like you gave me that can touch so many people won't just fall on deaf ears. Lo and behold, April 6, 2019, I launched it. And it went haywire, literally. And that was because so many people in Baltimore had seen the play. I was running into people that said, wait, what's your name? Brandon Fields. Did you just write a book? Yeah. Who are you again? Because I did not know these people, but the word was spreading. And so I said, okay, Lord, if you're the same God who did this, fine, I'm going to step out on faith. That's when my final bout with fear broke.
Wow.
And I said, okay,
awesome.
If I can do this, I can do anything. Let me call some of the originals because I know their hearts were in the right place. I know their mindsets were geared for this. But God, I need you to fill in the gaps because some of the pieces of the puzzle, we burned them up and they're gone and it's not going to work. I need you to really do what's necessary. And just like that, he did it. We complete. It's funny that I'm talking to you today because as quiet as this captain, I'll reveal this one small piece to show how awesome God is. We debut in a month and a half. We completed casting yesterday and had the most amazing rehearsal that I have ever been a part of yesterday. And I'm talking maybe 50 to 60% of it was actually rehearsing. The rest was us digging into what we're about to do and how great God is because he's allowing us the opportunity.
Wow.
God is about to make so many moves, not on my behalf, because my name don't have to be at the bottom of this book. My name don't have to be on this flyer for this play. I could not care less because what's in this, the content, is what I need the world to see and take in and make some changes. It's a crucial time, not only in the world we live in. We talk about how, the city of Baltimore is going through so many things or, the world's in such a bad state, but we're not talking about how there are people who are taught to live by faith who are having the same exact struggles that the people in the world are.
Right. And that's true. That is absolutely
right. Because we're
true.
taught to deal because we believe. We're not supposed to be depressed. We're not supposed to be upset. We're not supposed to deal with any kind of abuse or anything. No, we have faith. We go to church and we deal and we're good. That's not the case.
Not the case at all.
That's not
the case. Wow, guys. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. We have been really enjoying. I know I have been enjoying this time with Brandon. We're going to take a little break. We want you to listen to some local artists. We have Naomi B and we have Theron Fowler, who we're going to be playing some of their music. We're going to also hear Ebony Collins. She's going to entertain us, not entertain us. She's going to bless us with our inspirational corner on today. And so we want you guys to stay tuned in. We have been truly enjoying this time having Brandon here in the station. I am just so grateful for his ministry that he is blessed us with on today. This has been so empowering and such an inspiration. And then we will be back and we'll, talk a little bit more about what's going on as far as the play and how we can get in touch with him and all that good stuff before we close out the show. And then we're gonna, definitely have him come back, and we're gonna have him back right before the show comes out. So we want you to get your tickets early and all that kind of stuff. So we wanna definitely pack the house because we want to continue to make a difference in what God is doing in the lives of our young and older individuals. And so this is your girl A Michelle here on the Baltimore Flavor Gospel Show, and we want you to enjoy our local artists who's going to be in our next section right now.
You have served me, oh God, and you know me, oh God. You know my thoughts and you know all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, Lord, you know it completely. When I sit and when I rise, you know it all. Yet you still go before me. You place your hand of blessing upon me. You know my frame, but your love covers it all. So I lift my hands to you. For you are great, and greatly to be praised. I lift my voice to you. For you are worthy, worthy is your name. I can never escape your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go to the heavens or the grave, you will there. And if I ride on the wings of the morning, if I dwell by the farthest ocean, even there your hand will guide me all the way. Because you still go before me, you place your hand of blessing upon me. You know my frame, but your love covers it all. So I lift my hands to you. For you are great, you are great, and greatly to be praised. I lift my voice to you. For you are worthy, you are worthy. Worthy is your name. I give my life. I give my life in total surrender to you. I give my heart. I give it over for you to do as you please in me. I give my life. I give my life in total surrender to you. I give my heart. I give it over for you to do as you please in me. You have searched me, oh God, and you know me, oh God. You know my thoughts and you know all my ways.
This show is being sponsored by Worldwide Flavor Network. If you are looking to have your own radio show, come and join us here on WWFN Online Radio. Contact us via our website, www.worldwideflavornetwork.com.
Heavenly Father, I come to you crying out for the people who think there is no way out of their situation, the people who are hurting deep within and trying to put on a brave face. God, I'm coming on behalf of the person who is saying, I've given my all, I've prayed and cried, I come to the altar and poured it all, but my heart is still broken. When love shows its face, my soul is still broken. For the person who says, I just can't do anything right, the person who goes to work every day but they don't make enough to pay their bills. I come for the person who has turned off notices on their door because they just can't pay their bills anymore, living beneath their means but not keeping up. Babies are hungry and they're doing their best but don't feel like they feeding them kids enough. Can't give their best. They think they're giving their best, but their best just isn't good enough. They aren't living their best, God, and their mind is messed up and plagued with stress and mess, and you're tired of these tests. Stop calling their friends because they don't want to be a pest. Now they feel alone. Now they feel depressed. Now they're living a secret pain because they're embarrassed to confess that it hurts. Sometimes you can't even explain what hurts or why it hurts or where it hurts, but it hurts. I cry out for the person who is ready to give up on life. The silent tears are now crying out because they are on the edge, ready to jump. Grab them, Lord, grab them right up. The Bible said that Jesus would go to the Father on our behalf, and you would send the Holy Ghost to comfort us. Dispatch your angels around the person who is hurting. Send the Holy Ghost to the one who is lost. Whisper in their ears that you see them. Penetrate their hearts with your love. Let your grace reign supreme in their lives. tell them their life has purpose even when nothing is going right. Everything is going wrong. Be their strength when they just can't be strong. If they still feel that it's too much, if they still feel that they want to jump, if they still jump because they just can't take it all, I pray your word, your grace, and your mercy be the peace that breaks their fall. I speak against the spirit of depression that is taking out people's minds. The spirit that says you aren't good enough, you aren't smart enough, you aren't strong enough, you don't deserve your kids, you don't deserve to live. God, tell them they deserve everything you have to give. I rebuke the suicidal spirit. I rebuke the shame. I rebuke the insecurities. I rebuke the pain. I'm crying out, God. I'm standing in the gap. God has not left you. God has not forsaken you. When no one else does, God still has your back. God loves you when you don't love yourself. God loves you at your worst. God loves you at your best. Don't you give in. Don't you give up. God is always here. Touch him, God. Touch her, God. Restore them. Restore their hearts. Restore their peace. Restore their minds. God, I trust you to restore your people. God, I trust you to heal your people. God, I trust you to touch your people. God, I trust you to love your people. Be there for your people, God. They don't know. Some of us just don't know the love that you can give us, God, but I trust you to give it anyway. Give it to us in spite of us, God, not because of us. In spite of us, I trust you, God. I trust you for your people. I cry out for your people. I cry out for their lives. I stand in the gap when they don't trust you. I trust you for them, God. I love you for them, God. Give them a new life. Restore them, God.
Come on, get up. I'll take a minute just to swallow my pride. So listen up, I got something to say. Hey yo, I made some bad decisions, made some stupid mistakes. I was determined trying to do things my way. I walked alone, but I made up my mind. Oh yeah. If you take one step, I will follow behind. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know you walk with me. Oh yeah. And if you send me to the nations, I'll go. I'll spread the news across the oceans and seas. Hey yo, I won't be afraid of the faces I'll see. 'Cause I know that you're right here with me. I got my mind made up. If you take one step, I will follow. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know you are with me. Oh yeah. Lead me and guide me, Lord, don't walk behind me. I take one step, you take two. Walk with me through the valley of the shadow of death. Oh, I will follow you. Walk with me through the fire, through the storm and rain. Hold my hand, Lord. Don't ever let me go. Be a lamp unto my feet when I walk these streets. Order my steps in your holy word. I walk alone, but I made up my mind. I got my baby. Said I come too far to turn back now. Yeah, oh, baby. Said I need him to walk with me, reaching for the cross before me, leaving this old world behind me. Nobody said that the road would be easy for me. And I'm stepping, keep stepping, keep moving, yeah. Everywhere I go, I want the world to know you walk with me. If my dad was here, he would say, can I get a witness? I know you walk with me. Cause deep down in my lonely soul, yeah, I can see it. Walk with me through the fire. Walk with me through the rain. Walk with me through sickness. Walk with me through pain. I need him to walk with me, walk with me. Yeah, I need him to walk with me.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Theron Fowler, and you're tuning in to Baltimore Flavor Gospel Show with A. Michelle.
And we are back. It's your girl, A. Michelle Hill on the Baltimore Flavor Gospel Show. And we want to thank Naomi B., Ebony Collins, and Theron Fowler, our local artists here in the Baltimore area. Well, Ebony is not really an artist, but she is definitely anointed by God. And we just want to thank them all for doing our break this morning. And so we are still here chatting it up with Brandon Fields. Those of you who are just tuning in, if you missed the first half, you will definitely be blessed. Go back and watch and all that good stuff. Please share. We would love for you to share this information because this is something that we got to continue to promote our own. And though he may be living in Virginia, but his ground roots are here in Baltimore. And we are just so grateful that he could debut all of his stuff going on right now here on the Worldwide Flavor Network. We are so grateful and humbly grateful that he could do just that, because I don't take it lightly when those who are doing the work of the Lord and being able to minister and get the information out there to those who lives need to be touched and changed. And I am just grateful. That's all I can say is I'm grateful for what God is doing in and through his life. Those of you who may already know that this play has already been out before, and it's a play, but now he's written a book. Now, that's not always the norm. Normally you write the book and then you put the play in place, but God used him in a different way. God allowed him to and gave him the knowledge to write the play first, and now he has now put that in the form of a book. And we are just so grateful that this book could be debuted here on the Worldwide Flavor Network. It's been out for a minute. I don't know why I'm just hearing about it, but I'm glad to be hearing about this book, and I'm excited for him. The Cries from the Choir Loft. And that sounds, a title like that, Brandon, that's something powerful, because, people don't realize, you're a singer. I've been, I don't sing anymore lately because of my schedule, but being a part of all of that, people minister all the time and they're hurting. Broken, hurting. People minister all the time. Preachers, pastors, teachers in ministry and all of that.
Yep.
Who are really broken.
We are living in a time where I have never known so many pastors and preachers to be contemplating or committing suicide.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It is insane, because these were the pillars of the church that we grew up watching exhibit how much they believed. But that was all we saw.
When they go home, you don't know what they were dealing with when they went home and the things that they had to deal with. I just had a pastor who was on my show just last week, and she was just phenomenal. And her book, she was like, she wrote that book while she was going through. She said she was messed up even as a pastor, but the one thing she said, I thank God he never allowed me to bleed on the people. Like they never saw it.
Absolutely.
And that's when the grace of God is really got his hand on you.
Definitely.
When you can go through some stuff and never bleed on the people. I thank God for when I was going through, I just kind of stayed to myself most of the time, in which, that's what most of us only children. And if you are a part introvert, that makes it even worse.
Absolutely.
That makes it even worse when you are introvert and you going through
that shuts you down even the more. But I thank God that in my time that he's had me going through some things, that he just shuts me up and sits me down and, helps me heal through it and not have ever bled, because I have so many people that come to me for a lot of things. For whatever reason God does that, I'm not sure, but he does. And I just know that I'm grateful that he allowed me to go through the processes and heal in those processes. Keep your integrity and your ethics, and don't get me wrong, your thoughts can go a lot of places. You just got to be careful how you act upon them all.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, you are, like so many others, the exception to the rule. And I think what God allowed me to exhibit in this show and in this book was everybody that applies to the rule. Because the 9 young people that you meet on stage or in this book bled horribly. They bled on one another. They took each other's blood and splashed it on one person at a time at points. And unfortunately, my mind is so vivid that I literally see, if we don't take what's in this book and in this play to heart very soon, that blood is going to start seeping out of the choir loft and it's going to start making contact.
So at this point, when we heal though? Do we find place of healing in this book?
No.
Wow.
This book, and that was one of the biggest arguments and battles and struggles I had with God, was when I got to the last page, of the play and the last page of the book, I'm like, so there's no resolve. Like, what do we do? He said, that's not up to you to determine. He said, I need everybody to read and see this and decide what they're going to do differently.
Okay. That's still some kind of closure there. There's some type of closure where there's going to be a place where people have to make the decision to decide to do right or or go left or go right. Bottom line. That's just, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And so therefore we have to make those decisions.
And we have to decide if this walk of Christianity that we profess to have, if we're willing to show our hearts in it. Because sometimes we'll say we're Christians, but we won't do what Christ would do. I'm a Christian and I believe in God, but I'm not going to touch that. I'm a Christian and I believe in God, but I'm not going to say anything to that young person. I'm a Christian and I believe in God, but they don't need what I got. Jesus spoke to the least of them. Jesus ministered to the least of them. Jesus chose to travel with the least of them.
Absolutely. And that's the word. That's the word. That's the word. And that's what people fail to realize. When I look at the Bible, we can't condemn people.
Nope.
A lot of them weren't married. A lot of them weren't sinless.
Absolutely.
Most of them were sinful.
Absolutely.
To the 10th power. When I read certain stories, when you read certain people's lives, and because you can't, I keep trying to remind people, you cannot take away the anointing that God puts on any individual. You can be mad about what they're doing, how they doing it, well, they should be doing such and such. But guess what? Just like you a man and woman of God, and you a man and a woman, even if you ain't got the God part to you, God still has his sovereignty.
Absolutely.
His favor. Absolutely. And so therefore we, the word says, don't touch not thy anointed. So therefore or do them no harm. Therefore you better be careful when you put your mouth on preachers in ministry and things like pastors. You got to be careful. People don't realize, you think that you're doing good, but you're not.
You're not. You're doing more damage.
You're doing more damage. You're damaging people. You're damaging, yourself. Damnation on yourself.
Absolutely.
And so you have to understand what the word says. And that's why I keep trying to convey to people, stop wanting to, talk about or speak the word, but not live by the word. None of us are perfect. Don't get me wrong, because I know by far I am not perfect. But we don't want to be talking about this preacher or this person and you living your life you living, because your sin is no greater than their sin.
Absolutely. And that's one of the crux of this project in general, was I held back for so long sharing these stories because what I did not want was people to get the wrong idea. These 9 young people are going through real life issues. They are struggling, they are hurting, and they are all at the brink of no return, but there is still hope. And unfortunately, sometimes when you grow up in church and God gives you a blessing to reveal a project like this, the automatic thought is, why are you trying to expose people for who they are? Why are you trying to put people on Front Street for stuff that you might have been guilty of yourself?
Well, this generation is a generation of they want the real. They don't want the fake.
Exactly.
They don't, because most of us lived in the fake,
Mhm.
or we lived in the cover up.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to always say it was fake, Brandon. For me, in my world, it was the cover up, how
Yeah.
we kept everything swept under
What
the
happens
rug.
in our house stays in our
Right.
house. We don't tell our
Whether
business.
that was
Yep.
in the church or the house.
You got that one. You got that.
Where now people are, and especially the young folk, they just want you to be real, authentic, and true to who you are.
And that's why this project came to life.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
The reality that pours out of these characters is unbelievable. And it's so let me rephrase that. It's unbelievable in the concept to know that people deal with these things, but it's believable because so many people can identify with these 9 stories.
So is it possible we could take this play on tour?
We're going to see what God says about that.
Okay.
I know he's bringing it to completion for me here
Mhm.
with this production in September. What he will do with this show beyond this, I am open to based on what he says and what he allows.
Okay.
We funny enough just had this conversation in rehearsal yesterday, and God confirmed some things, and I had to take that into consideration, and then a whole nother conversation happened right after, like, so.
Because even if you start off with weekend tours, like,
Mm-hmm.
doing like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing,
Right.
Those type of things, because we need to make a difference in the lives of the community as our young people and adults are hurting.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, is that the amazing thing I noticed in doing this show the first time, releasing the book, and having it all come together was we met young people who were currently hurting. We met seasoned saints who said, wow, I've never told anybody that happened to me too. So we're not just dealing with attempting to help young people who are in the middle of it, but trying to now deal with people who have never healed from understanding.
And when
that it
people
happened.
break them here, those situations, how their life would be so much better.
Yeah. I want God to break yokes with this project. And it is so possible. It's so possible. Just because most people will not have the courage or the lack of fear to say it happened to me too. We've come into the time now of the Me Too
because they came
movement,
in it because they came into that era of just sweep it under the rug,
Yep.
don't tell nobody,
Yep.
keep it in the house,
Take it to the
those are-
grave.
and
That's what we were
and
taught.
some things you can't heal yourself, let alone help heal somebody else.
Exactly.
Because you can be a blessing to someone through what you've done or been through.
Absolutely.
So, wow, this is awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope you guys hearing this and you will share this information, share this video, this live feed and everything, because we want everybody to be a part of this. Let's now talk about when we're going to have the play, where the book is available, how we can get in touch with you, all of that good stuff, your social media. But I want you to first talk about, this whole play piece,
Mhm.
where we're going to have it, all of that, how people can get tickets to that, then the whole book, and then how people can get in touch with you as well, Brandon.
Awesome. So the revival of the Cries from the Choir Loft will actually be under the umbrella of Blind Productions, BLINED, which God gave me coming out of my season of darkness. That stands for the acronym literally. Let's say BLINED, back like I never ever died.
Powerful.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
Blind Productions will present the Cries from the Choir
Ooh,
Loft.
that's
Saturday.
powerful, Brandon. Jesus.
Listen, I when I say it out loud, I don't say it often because it's still so real. It's a very real thing because when Starstruck Productions went under, I am not exaggerating. I felt like mentally I died. I literally went into a whole nother mental space and was not able to process. I was functioning, like I said, but I was not able to.
That functional
process.
depression is, I think, is worse. I think it's worse because at least if a person shut down, they down and they sitting over in the corner. But when you functioning and
that was the thing.
That's just like dealing with a functional drug addict. They're going to work every day, but they getting high every day. Still doing it. Functional alcoholic. It's the same thing.
It was so surreal for me that I was working in Towson at the time and drove past Shepherd Pratt regularly and thought about, should I just drive up there? Something I've probably never shared with anybody. I am to a place in my life where my testimony has to help somebody else. It has to. But I regularly roll past thinking, I think I should get help. And God literally would say, hold on. Those were the only two words I heard during the entire time that it was dark for me. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. And for whatever reason, I believed it. I believed it. I did not understand it. I did not like it. But something in me, this small part of myself said, yeah, you really can trust that. Hold on. Hold on. And then one day it literally came to me out of nowhere. The logo for my company is literally a eyeball behind broken glass. Because my eyes are
Wow.
open, but the damage is still there, but I can live through it. And I'm back like I never ever died.
You better teach that, Brandon. That's that's a word. Broke. I'll be with broke.
How behind broken glass? Yeah.
Ooh,
So,
Jesus.
all that to say, the Cries from the Choir Loft will be in revival, I guess you could say. Saturday, September 28th, 2019, at Perkins Square Baptist Church, 2500 Edmondson Avenue, corner of Emerson and Warwick. Showtime is 6 p.m. Doors will open at 5 p.m. Tickets, general admission is $25. VIP packaging is $40. That comes with early access to the venue, reserved seating, and you'll get some company swag from Blind Productions. It's going to be an amazing night. I promise you, you will not regret it if you purchase tickets to this production, and you will absolutely look at things differently when you leave. We can be reached via phone at 443-687-8988. Again, that's 443-687-8988, or via email at blindfaith, BLINED, FAITH at gmail.com.
Awesome. Awesome. How can we get in touch with you as far as the book is concerned?
So the book is being sold both on Amazon. You can actually literally type in The Cries from the Choir Loft, or if you link with me via social media, Brandon Sean with a U Fields, you can definitely get in touch with me to get copies of the book signed personally.
Do you have a
by me as well.
website?
Not at the moment. God is
Okay.
moving though. We just had
Okay.
that conversation too. So
Okay.
when I say we are fresh,
Even if you just
we
do
are
a one
moving.
pager, just
Absolutely.
get a page and you can have the links to all that stuff on there. Everything. I keep trying to tell people, stop trying to have all the bells and whistles on the first go round.
That makes sense.
Because mine is ever evolving. So the day it look like something tomorrow, you be like, did she change this? Yes, because we are constantly on an evolving status, and that's what we have to do. Oh my gosh, Brandon, this has been absolutely amazing. I am just so heavenly. When I say heavenly proud of what you're doing and trying to make a difference, and just listening to what you've even said, your walk, your own journey, and how some of our journey has even aligned in different patterns of its way. But I'm grateful that you took the time to come and wanted to share and make a difference, because people don't realize your story can change, if not but one life, but you know how many lives from that one life can change so many other lives.
Absolutely.
So that's why I try to tell people, don't look at the fact of you just changing your one life. That one life can be the journey to changing so many other lives.
I agree.
And so you coming on the show, I pray that it will, prick somebody's spirit, that they will either come to the play, want to change something in their life and what they're doing or not doing, that they will begin to look at things differently for themselves as they continue to move forward in the work that God has for them. We have to understand that in life is nothing but a journey.
Very true.
If you look at the Bible was a journey. There were journeys, many journeys. And so therefore our lives are going to be many journeys, and we have to make a difference with having those journeys. We have to make a difference some type of way. And the only way we can make that difference is if we take the time to look at ourselves, look inside of ourselves and what we can do differently. We cannot continue to blame everybody else. We cannot continue to blame the politicians in Baltimore. We cannot continue to blame the president or the person who we have as our leader of this country.
Absolutely.
Because the president, in my knowledge, is supposed to be one who loves the people. And I can't say that's what I pick up from the person but we cannot be worried about the things that they say.
We've got to be accountable.
We
for
have to be
ourselves.
held accountable for what we do and how we do it. And then the only way we can make a difference is if we take the time to do the things that require us to be making the difference. That means be the change, be the person, be the situation, be what you want the world to be. That means if you want people to be nicer, won't you be nicer? If you want people to, smile more, won't you smile more? Because you don't know what's behind why a person is not smiling.
Absolutely.
That's why it's important for us to be nice all the time. And anybody that knows me, my word is be nice. Because that and don't think that somebody has not said it back to me. But sometimes we have to find ourselves in a place of being nice because you could make all the difference in that person's life.
True.
I literally recently had someone, an artist who was here on our show talking about how she went to do this concert. And this woman who was sitting in the concert had already plotted that she was going to commit suicide when the concert was over. She was given the ticket. She never purchased the tickets to the concert. Somebody couldn't go. And they said, won't you take my ticket, go to this concert? And she had in her car the stuff she was going to use to commit suicide when the concert was over.
Is that real?
That's why you don't know how your life makes a difference.
It's funny you say that because you get an ounce of that in the book.
Wow.
Get an ounce of that. That's all I'll give. But you definitely get an ounce of that in the book. And you will be shocked to your shoes when you see the play. That's how
Wow.
it plays out.
And so, that's why we have to be so careful.
You have to.
We have to be so careful
to.
how we talk to people,
Yep.
how we deal with people. Being kind doesn't hurt anything. To me, it's more energy to be mean.
Very true.
It works up more energy to be mean than it does to be kind to someone. And so I hope this week, when you are having those challenging days this week, because don't think it ain't gonna happen. You in denial if that's the case. You will be met with some challenges. You may be met with some challenges on today, but it's about how you handle it is how God will continue to bless you and those who you are connected with. Our behavior is not just for us, but our behavior is also predicated to those who are connected to us. So if our behavior is not right and God ain't pleased, therefore, those who are connected to us, that just breeds on a whole nother spirit. So we, with Brandon coming out with this and him being transparent on the things that he's been transparent for as his book, himself personally, we hope that it makes a difference in someone's life.
Absolutely.
Even with my own transparency, I have no problem with it. There's, someone told me I need to write a book, but it's so much to this package.
God can do
And
it.
so, I'm gonna let him do it if he's gonna do it, because that's for sure ain't on my agenda. But I can truly say that, being transparent does change lives.
Yes, it does.
I came up in an era of keeping everything swept under the rug, keeping it closed. But then God kept making me be the one to just say stuff. Brandon, like, just say it. Like,
yep.
And then I used to be one of the ones that didn't care if it hurt your feelings. And then because my cousin them used to call me Flipper. Because I would just say, yeah. Oh, Brandon. Thank God for the hey, Michelle, y'all know today. That's all I can tell you. Because that's what they called me. Like, I could just say some stuff. I would just say it. And didn't, because it was like, I'm just real. I didn't say that's what it was, but that's just, it was like, just being real.
Right.
And therefore, I didn't realize sometimes I could be so really harsh with what I was saying. And it wasn't that I was really like mean, but it was just saying. And my cousin was like, girl, you got to really work on your mouth. Like, you just say stuff out your mouth. And I used to cuss too, y'all. So that just added. Sometimes that just made it even more lively when you said it. You know what I'm saying? But it was like, but God just worked on me. And I still, every day he works on me. And I still ask him to continue to work on me. Because that spirit can still rise back up. Like I keep trying to tell people, don't think that she just so saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost filled with the Spirit that because he still ain't took certain things out me
He's
yet.
still working.
He's still working every
Still
day on
working.
me. But I want people to lives to be changed. I want people to be different.
Absolutely.
I try my best. I try my best. I try my best. I keep saying I try my best because I always want to be an encourager
Mhm.
to be the positive. Because I know I could encourage you to do wrong,
Mhm.
but I want to be more of an encourager to get you to do right.
Absolutely.
And so, being one who exposes herself when there's time. It's not like I just throw it out there, but if there's a moment that you have to make a difference in sitting and talking to someone, whether it be a young person or old person, your life can make a difference in someone's life. And that's what's important today.
Right.
We need to do better in making a positive impact on lives than wanting to beat up on people, wanting to
Absolutely.
find all the wrong. Because my girlfriend and I always sit around and we say, don't nobody wake up and say, I want to be a drug addict.
Yeah.
I want to be an alcoholic.
Absolutely.
I want to be a prostitute. Don't nobody wake up saying those things. Nobody didn't decide that's what they wanted to do. So in order for us to make a difference, we have to be the difference.
Yep. It starts with us.
It starts with us. And that's for the saved and the unsaved.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Everybody want to always make everything so churchy. And don't get me wrong, I love the Lord, saved, sanctified, filled. But I just want you to know everything ain't always about that.
Nope.
Right now, we just need to show positivity to our people. Period. Because they will see the God in you by your walk, by your talk, by your actions. And it's not even about your talk. Because I honestly don't want to hear nothing no more, really. I just want you to live your life and enjoy the life that God has given you. And so we are just so grateful that Brandon could take time out of his schedule to come and share with us about the play. Give the play information again, Brandon.
Sure.
Give the book information, and if they need to get in contact with you, because we really want people to support this. I got to look at my schedule. I am working hard that I'm going to be there, and we're going to have Worldwide Flavor is going to be in the place. That's what we're going to do. We're going to work that out. So you make sure, tell us the actual date, not just the date, but the day of with the 28th falls on and all of that. So people can really look and try to adjust their schedules and try to get their tickets. We want you to get your tickets early. We want you to get it because we want to move this. I would love to see it get packed out to the point that Brandon got to move the location to a bigger spot. That would be just a blessing. But you go here, Brandon.
I'm going to take you speaking that one. I'm going to take it.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take it. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, Blind Productions presents The Cries from the Choir Loft on Saturday, September 28th, 2019. Doors open at 5 p.m., showtime 6 p.m. at Perkins Square Baptist Church, 2500 Edmonton Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21223. For tickets, you can text or call 443-687-8988. Again, that's 443-687-8988, or you can email blindfaith, BLINED, faith@gmail.com. General admission tickets are $25, VIP are $40. Get them while you can.
Is there a limit on the VIP?
There's a cutoff we're going to work on, but they open right now, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. We just want to make sure, because, people do cut off notices.
Absolutely.
And we want to make sure everything is what it needs to be.
Absolutely.
And so we are just so grateful that you could take this time, and we want to support this. We want you all to really, let's show our Baltimore love like we need to. We gotta get away from all this other drama and trauma that people want to give out here. Let's do what we need to do. Let's push this. Let's make a difference. We don't know what this play can do for our community, because we're not going to just say young people. We're going to say what it can do for our community, because we got to start somewhere. And if we got to start even with this play as a means to start healing Baltimore, healing people in Baltimore, and not just in Baltimore, but you can bring friends from out of state, and just healing people. We want to do just that. Again, we are on all social media platforms. Feel free to follow us. Go on our website. All of our social media is there. You can always connect with us on all of those platforms, as well as listen to our music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have a platform. If you know any DJs who would like to submit some clean music, we doing mixes. We would love even gospel mixes. If you would like them, please have them send the information to me via WeTransfer. and we will be glad to accept them, get their information. We would love to feature them here on the Worldwide Flavor Network. We also are always accepting new guests, and so we're kind of booked up right now, but we like to add guests in, and if you never know when something may cancel, so that's why I'm always looking for guests.
As long
And
as you have
so,
me back before the show, we
oh,
good.
we definitely gonna have you back before the show. Actually, we're gonna probably try to figure out some kind of way that day to get you in here early, maybe early that morning,
could probably
so
do
we
that.
could, get them last few moments of pushing some tickets. But we're gonna hope by then that we're gonna be sold out. I'm already
We
claiming
claiming
that.
it now.
We
Yeah.
claiming we're gonna be sold out. We
Yeah.
want this to be everything, and we're gonna do all we can here on the Worldwide Flavor Network to make that happen, because that's just how we do here. We support our local artists, our local production companies. We want the best for all of what we do. Baltimore has a lot.
Absolutely.
People don't realize it, but Baltimore is known for the music, the arts, and things of that nature. Yes, people travel to these other cities to make it happen, but I can assure you, if we get better at supporting one another here in Baltimore, we won't have to worry about people leaving Baltimore to go to these other cities. Because the only reason they leave, I'm just going to tell you, because I travel. I'm in artist management. I manage artists.
Mhm.
I can assure you the reason people leave, because we don't have support here in Baltimore. And I know we can make a difference. We got some excellent talent. We got talent that's beyond some of the mess I hear. I'm just going to be real. That we hear out here. We got some awesome talent here in Baltimore. We got to do better in supporting one another here in Baltimore, and on our social media in positive ways,
Yeah.
supporting in positive ways. As my mother and them say when we were growing up, if you don't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Now, I'm not saying that you can't tell someone some constructive criticism, but you ain't got to be real rude, and you don't have to be doing that even on social media. You can send them something in the inbox, because that's just professional way we do things. And so that's what we want to do. We want things to be what God would want us to do in a be nice way. That's all I'm going to say.
That'd be nice.
In
Is good.
a be nice way, you know. And so I'm just saying we really have to do better, and we as Baltimore can do better. We got such good talent here. I can't even tell you. I'm out and about all the time, and we have great talent. And so I just ask that you find it in your heart to want to support this play and buy the book.
Yeah, if you're not able to make it on Saturday, September 28th, by all means, still reach out to us via phone, text, or email. You can find me on social media, Brandon Sean Fields. Once again, we're on Instagram as well, blind, BLINED_productions. You can follow us. And if you can't make it to the show, by all means, jump on Amazon, reach out to me, still buy this book. This thing will touch everybody.
Awesome, awesome. So again, this week when you're having those challenges, just think in the positive. Know that God is able. He will fix and do anything that we need, even that unimaginable thing that you think that is not fixable. He can fix it. It just may not be the conventional way that you are used to it being fixed, or you desire for it to be fixed. But I can assure you, He can fix it. Just be patient and understand that His will is not our will. His ways are not our ways. And so, therefore, His way is always the best way if you avail yourself to Him. This is your girl, A. Michelle. Reach out to us on our social media as well as we will have shows all week long. Therefore, I hope you will tune in and be blessed by each one of those shows. We have different guests on every show, and it's not just my show, because I only have 2 shows, but we have several shows all week long. And so if you are looking to have your own radio show, please join us here on the Worldwide Flavor Network. We would love to have you on our platform. We are looking for different types of diverse type shows, so don't count yourself out. We want all diversity here. We are open. worldwide. That's why we said we want it open to everyone. And again, this is your platform that you would be sharing with our community. So again, have a wonderful, wonderful day. And we thank you, Brandon, again. We thank you again.
Thank you so
But
much.
have a wonderful day in the Lord, you guys. I thank you for joining us here on the Worldwide Flavor Network on Baltimore Flavor Gospel Show. Join us on next Sunday. I can't remember who our guest will be next Sunday, but we will have a it's an author. I do know, I do remember we are having an author next Sunday. So join us on next Sunday and just know that I love you, but God loves you better than I ever could. Have a blessed and wonderful week and blessed and wonderful day. Bye.